Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with one more video. So this time around it's gonna be hard finite 10, and this is going to be, I would say relatively budget-ish. No, I mean, considering hard finite 10 is one of the hardest areas in the game, I would consider that this team to be, well, that. So we have a fusion. We have, well, another actual fusion, right? And we have another fusion, and we have two epics that are quite obtainable. Farakin should be in most people's collection by now, and Naldor is relatively recent, but he is an epic. And we had several, Prism Shard and, boosted activities for it, so everyone should have it. So bringing this team together for a late game account should not be that hard. The hard part would be the gear level, I would say. So let me show you the team. I think that was it. I think that's it. Yeah. So we have Mikage, who's quite fast, as you can see, and I want to show you the bonuses include, because my bonuses are pretty good. Speed, crit damage, and defense ignore are all maxed. I have, I think, 6 points in accuracy and 3 points in resistance, and even a few points in HP and defense for increased survivability. The resistance part is actually quite wasted, but I was actually using it for another team I had in the past, but now they are wasted because you just don't want any resistance, at least in the finite team. So the thing is, guys, Mikage is an excellent champion. She is also very good in arena, live arena, tag team arena, regular arena, whatever it is that you want to use her for. So I would suggest building her a bit of a hybrid. So for me, I was not able to do finite 10 before this, and with Mikage I was able to, so I focused her towards finite, but I also didn't want to gimp her in the PvP too much. So the thing that's about the gimping is, in a normal PvP Mikage, you would want the accuracy mastery, right? So you could stun them, you could sleep them, you could take away their buffs, everything that helps. But in a finite Mikage, you kind of want the War Master. So that's what I went with. So I went to find a happy spot, and in finite, Mikage does not need any accuracy at all, because the trash has very low amount of resistance, and you are not caring about debuffing the boss, so you need 0 accuracy, right? But of course for PvP you need some. So as I said, I went to find some sweet spot, and I think I have a little above 400, including the area bonus. Let me just reveal it again. Yeah, but as I said, this is not required, right? For the sole purpose of finite, you could have 0, but I'm suggesting that you should have something around the 300s, so you can also use it in PvP. But if you are fully invested in the idea of a finite, then you should have, I would say, 70% crit, some crit damage, and the reason that I'm saying 70% crit will be revealed. As high speed as you can, no resistance, no accuracy whatsoever, and survivability. That's the only thing you want, right? And this much survivability is a little too much, right? This is for PvP again, so you can be quite less survivable and have even more speed and more damage if you want to go for pure finite. Next up, we have Zinogre, our beautiful and useful captain. She supports a whopping 30% speed aura, which is insanely good, right? Most of us were using Razorwarg before this, and Razorwarg has a 20%, and she also has the increased speed in her kit, right? She also has decreased attack and leech. This is going to help at the boss, guys, because finite, the boss itself is extremely hard to control, right? Even with a good team, he sometimes takes a turn, and this decreased attack is going to save us from those moments where he takes a turn, right? So I'm not saying this team does not ever allow the boss to play, right? The boss, I would say, takes a turn once every 3 or 4 rounds. The important thing is if the team is able to handle it, right? And the team is able to handle it, even crits, thanks to this decreased attack here. And her A1 has the weaken, so she brings a nice amount of debuffs. There is also, of course, the Phantom Touch. So I would suggest everyone to have Phantom Touch. Maybe for Mikage you could have Polymorph if you want to use her in a hybrid build like I do in Live Arena. But if you want to go hard at Finite itself, then she should definitely be using Phantom Touch as well. Counter-attack accessory helps. We have again pretty high speed, above 300, and nice damaging potential. Of course, the Live Arena upgrades help a ton here. Accuracy is required because we want to be able to apply the decreased attack to the boss in case he takes a turn, and we also have weaken. Those are great. Next up we will have Farakin. So with Farakin and Mikage we have the ally attack abilities, and therefore they should have as many refresh accessories as they can. For Farakin we have again above 300 speed. I have some damage potential here. We want the accuracy on him as to be able to apply the decreased defense on his A1 on the boss. The A2, while normally great, does not help here. We don't really care about that. I mean, it works. It doesn't work in trash. It doesn't work at the boss because no one is taking too many turns, so the poisons and the HP burn don't do much. We want around this degree of survivability, high speed, accuracy, and accuracy is only for the decreased defense on the boss, right? But that makes the round shorter, and this is the reason why I'm using Farakin instead of Longbeard, Lonataril, or whoever it is. Well, I don't have Lonataril, but because thing is, the legendary ally attackers, right? Those ones that I mentioned at least, they also join themselves in the attack, right? Farakin himself doesn't join in, so that's one hit missed on the shield and potentially 2 hits missed, right? So he should be bringing something good that we can use. So what he brings is 30% increased crit rate buff, and also he brings the decreased defense buff, which no other ally attacker champion does. So I would use him. Then we have Naldor, and there is a reason for me to go over in this order. Actually, I should have gone Zinogre, Mikage, Farakin, Naldor, and finally Nut. So Naldor has a counterattack accessory, and Naldor and Nut definitely need accuracy. They are the real ones that need accuracy, and you might notice that I have not 100% but 70% crit on Naldor. So the reason for that is I am planning on utilizing the 30% crit rate buff that the Farakin gives, right? Because I want to have high speed, I want to have survivability, I want to have accuracy, right? I want to just have too much, and so whatever I can save is good. So, and you will notice that this is the only champion that I want for 70% crit rate. So why not Zinogre or Nut? Because Nut is an excellent champion and gets used in many places, right? I cannot expect to be able to combine him with Farakin all the time. But Naldor is used for Sintranos rooms and this mostly, so I can afford to lose that 30% crit on him, right? And finally we have Nut, the main guy. So he is the slowest because I want to have the best damage on him. Oops, I misclicked. Okay, see, he is of course extremely survivable considering he's a defense champion. We never have to worry about his survivability. Above 300 speed, that's what I went for. 300 crit damage. He has the accuracy, and so the Fire Knight on stage 10 has 320 resistance. So at this level I don't have accuracy cap, but I'm like maybe 0.5% away from cap. I will have a 96.5% chance of doing it. So why this team, right? Why not replacements? So for example, why not Kryodan instead of Naldor? Thing is, guys, Naldor is bringing something that's very good alongside with the freeze. He brings the decreased speed, right, which is beautiful, which is one of the things that you need to control the boss. So unless you have a 1 minute team that's just bashes down the shield. Nut does the A3, you refresh with Kaimar, you do it again and you kill. If you don't have that kind of team, the fight will go on, right? And he is not possible to be controlled when he has 250 speed, right? We have to bring it down to 175. That's how we are able to. So guys, I have 300 speed on everyone before the aura, right? Which means they will go up to 330s. That is the slowest. That will be Nut. And that is also before the increased speed buff. So the slowest guy in my party would be around 430 speed. Right? That's very important. And even then, I'm not able to control the 250 speed guy. I am able to control the 175 speed guy most of the time. So what we want to do is we want Zinogre to be the fastest, or if that's not possible, she should definitely be second fastest, so we can get the increased speed in ASAP, right? We want the two attackers, and then we want the freezers. So why did I go in that order? Let me show you the team. So the reason that we have this is, guys, so when you do an ally attack, you actually don't attack based according to your speed or anything. You attack in the order that you put the guys in, right? So the freezers will have to be the last two guys, right? So when I do an ally attack with Mikage, it will go like this. Zinogre will attack first, then Mikage will attack, then Farakin will attack, then Naldor will attack, and then Nut will attack. So we want my guys to be last, because when the shield gets broken, I want my freezers to hit last, so I can actually reduce the turn meter of the boss a little bit. So getting into the setup, we can observe the stats better here. I just use stuff on the first round and the second round without denying myself the availability of the important skills, right? I want the increased speed buff to be available by the time we hit the third wave, and we use the decreased attack with the second highest priority, which we will do at the time. So Mikage turns into the spider on the first wave, but she doesn't use the stun. Why does she not use the stun? Because we are opening hard at the first wave. The first wave will be pretty much dead after we play a few turns. So that's why I'm not wasting the stun on the first wave, and I'm using the stun on the second wave, and then on the third wave I go back and I start with the ally attack ability. Farakin obviously used the ally ability first, and he doesn't use the second attack ever, because the trash is gonna die fast, so they won't be taking many turns, so this ability won't be bringing us much. Naldor does some stuff. It's important that he has the decreased speed available, so that's why we never use it in the second wave, so it is available. And you can tell probably the breaking point of the run is if the decreased speed at the beginning gets resisted, right? And if the decreased speed at the beginning gets resisted, he most likely will take a turn, right? But that won't kill us, right? And then we have Nut, and so there is something interesting here, guys. We opened with Blessed Bash and never use it, blah blah. And you'll see something funny here. I actually am using Blessed Bash in the second wave, right? And as you can see, as the third ability in the wave, right? And this will make my Blessed Bash quite not available when I enter the third wave, right? Well, that is the point. I want the Blessed Bash to be available at a later point, because the thing is, guys, even if you open with Blessed Bash, right, you most likely won't be able to use the Blessed Bash a second time, right? And that means there is only one Blessed Bash. So if I am going to do only one Blessed Bash, what do I care about if it happens on the first turn or the third turn, right? Because if I use it a little bit later, I can have the fight a little more under control, because every time Nut freezes the boss, there is a 30% chance that Naldor joins in, right? That's beautiful, right? And I could get refresh procs on Lady Mikage or Farakin. Those are excellent for breaking down the shield. And because Naldor and Nut both freeze with their A1s, that actually pushes the turn meter back a hefty amount if the shield is already down. So that is meant to stabilize the run, so that I am delaying the Blessed Bash on purpose. So why don't we want Kryodan? Kryodan does not have decreased speed, right? Kryodan cannot replace Naldor because he brings something that we already have, and he doesn't bring what we don't have and need, right? So Zinogre is also very good because she's a Shadowkin and she will always be joining Lady Mikage's A1, which means Lady Mikage's A1 will pack a good amount of extra damage, and also she will take a lot of hits from the shield. Phantom Touch on everyone is, I would say, mandatory, right? Unless you are far surpassing my stats here, because they are going to be extra hits. That's what it is about the Phantom Touch, guys. So Nut is actually not meant for Phantom Touch because Phantom Touch deals damage based off your attack, but it is an extra hit towards the shield, right? And you can only proc Phantom Touch once per turn. So thing is, guys, if you, for example, hit with Zinogre and your Phantom Touch procs, and then Farakin ally attacks you, that Zinogre won't get a Phantom Touch proc if she did get it on her own turn, right? So there is that, and that's why even if the soul is 1 star, it's going to be useful, right? Because you cannot get more than 1 proc. Right? You cannot do, okay, Lady Mikage opens, everyone goes in, everyone gets a Phantom Touch proc, Farakin ally attacks, everyone gets another Phantom. Nope, no one will get another Phantom Touch proc, right? Only a character that has not gotten a proc on his Phantom Touch would get one. That's how it works. Let me show you the team now. The duration is about 2.5 minutes. And it is quite surely 100% because I have more than 250 rounds, and he has taken a turn tens of times. So that's what I was talking about. As you can see, when I do my opener, it's already a good number of them dead, so Mikage does not really need to use her stun. We can reserve that for the second wave. And the beauty of Mikage is, guys, because she controls turn meters so hard, you might remember from your older finite teams that it is not very easy to handle the trash. And as you can see, the trash never takes a turn here. So guys, I would say maybe one trash takes a turn once every 10 rounds, and that is me being pessimistic, right? I mean, you could say they never take a turn. See, I wasted the Blessed Bash here on purpose, so it will be up a little bit later, okay? Because guys, I am going to do 1 Blessed Bash. I cannot do 2 Blessed Bash. And you definitely don't want refresh accessories on Nut and Naldor. Keep that in mind. Okay, the shield is down. So we are gonna try for the decrease speed now. Okay, it did work. So we wanna try for the decreased defense now. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't work. And as you can see, it's pretty close. So now we are praying that we get a refresh proc on one of the ally attackers, or Naldor joins in Nut's attack. We want something. Okay. Well, I think this is gonna be good because he's gonna take a turn now. Yeah. And watch this now. This is good, I think. I want to show this to you guys. So, what happens if he takes a turn? Well, that happens. Nothing. We lose like maybe 5-10 seconds. Because by the time he takes a turn, it's going to be already late, and my ally attacks will be up again. Ally attack can kill or close. And guys, this was, by no means a lucky run. We didn't get any refresh procs, right? Naldor never joined in. I think a few of our freezes got resisted, and this is a below average run. This is very nice that it happened, right? I want to show it to you when he takes a turn, and as you can see, the result is nothing. So that's why you want the survivability, right? In case something goes wrong. So what you want is, you want to have enough survivability so you can survive a single critical hit on everyone with decreased attack on him. So guys, you could say, so Bashar, what if everything goes wrong and we fail to apply the decreased speed with Naldor, and also then Zinogre fails to apply the decreased attack. So guys, that is extremely unlikely. Let me show you why. And I'm not talking about the 3% twice. That is the beauty of Zinogre. So she tries to place the decreased attack twice. That's why it's extremely unlikely. So she doesn't try to do decreased attack and it fails 3%. Nope. She tries twice. So it has to fail twice if we don't get the decreased attack, right? That is, extremely unlikely. We will have to fail the decreased attack twice. And as you can see from the nature of the team, it's not like, we break the shield and he immediately takes a turn, right? He's taking a turn. Action is definitely delayed, right? So we will be squeezing a lot of turns in. So that's it. And thing is, you might have seen, I think the run took 235. So even him taking a turn didn't make it much worse. So about the glyphs and whatnot, I have glyphed everyone, right? Everyone has, quite good gear. But I didn't have to go all in as I did on Artak. But whatever investment you do here will of course shorten the run duration. Okay, well, let me try to run another and hope for the guy not take a turn. And guys, if you ask me how many times does he take a turn, I would say 20% maybe. I'm not very sure. I mean, he most likely does not take a turn, but it is not that rare, as you just saw. But I mean, we are forcing many tries, right? I mean, I have one refresh on Mikage, that works and the run is done, right? 2 refreshes on Farakin, that works and the run is done. They both have Cycle of Magic, one of it works and we're good. When Nut is trying to freeze, Naldor joins in and that most of the time gets us done, right? All of these are being added up, or there are no 3% resists on the freezes because, so the thing is guys, we try it many times and it is not that unlikely to get a resist on one of the freezes, right? So there is that. And of course, Naldor's freeze is only 40%. There is another RNG there. If Naldor misses all of them, he's gonna take a turn, right? There is all that RNG involved, but so the thing is, guys, you could try the same team, but if you don't have library and upgrades that are similar to mine, it could be much slower, right? The library and upgrades make a lot of difference. And 20% defense, that's why I don't need Savage on these guys, right? I'm not saying Savage would be harmful, of course. It would be awesome, but I mean, I do have a nice amount of defense ignore, and as you can see, the damage is quite acceptable. Okay, so as you can see, he doesn't join in, right? That makes a difference. For the time being, it looks like he is going to take a turn. So we want to delay it until we could get one of the ally attacks back. It doesn't look like, yeah. And guys, I would love it if I could deny the ally attack, the Blessed Bash one more turn, but it just doesn't happen. It looks like he's going to get a turn. Unless we get a refresh proc, maybe. Nope. Yeah. And as you can see, he hit Naldor pretty hard, right? But thing is, we can even make up for that because by the time he takes a turn, that our ally attacks will be up. Even without Naldor, we can do it. So in the worst run I had, guys, he hit me, right? And then, everything went very bad and he took another turn. And then in that turn, he crit on Mikage and killed her. And even then we won. So one of the best things about this team is, guys, which was another bad run, by the way. One of the best things about this team is that because Zinogre brings in decreased attack and leech at the same time, thanks to the leech, even if he takes multiple turns, in the meanwhile, we can fully heal thanks to the leech, right? I mean, if he hits us, we get the debuffs, and then while we are hitting him, we get our I wanted to show you in which he doesn't take a turn. I mean, this makes the team look bad. And guys, that probably proves to you how much gear and how much speed is required, right? As I said, the slowest on the team is above 330, which is not, right? And with the increased speed buff, the slowest speed in the team goes down to 430s, right? The slowest is not in 430s. Mikage is something like 500 or so. And even then, the guy takes a turn. So we are getting no refresh procs here. We are not getting Cycle of Magic procs on the two ally attackers. And we are also not getting a single Naldor join in. And yeah, that is what has been troublesome for us. And thing is, guys, I know those are small chances, but there are a lot, right? 5% refresh on Mikage, 10% refresh on Farakin, right? 5% of Cycle of Magic chance, 30% of Naldor joining in, right? 40% of chance of freezing with Naldor. Yeah, that is a good looking turn meter, I think. It does look like a good run. The Blessed Bash will come in now. Big damage. Nope, no refresh procs at all. I think he's gonna take a turn now. Well. Oh yeah, we joined it for the first time. Well, that is what a clean round looks like, guys. Yeah, we were a little lucky there. So thing is, guys, there is a lot of RNG involved actually, because let me just go quickly over the masteries of the team. You know, all small stuff, but it adds up to a lot of RNG. So that is the masteries I have for Mikage, right? And there is a 10%, 30% chance that she gains 10% turn meter when a buff expires. This does happen in a little bit late, but yeah, we have this one. So that is not very useful either. She actually should not have that. Yeah, that's not very useful to me actually. No, it's not bad. Yeah, on Farakin we have this mastery. And I want to show you this main thing here. So this is the important thing, guys, if this works or not, right? Because this translates to speed when it works, right? And thing is, our freezes get instantly removed. So guys, when Naldor does the freeze, there is not only the 15% turn meter reduction on the boss, but there is also a 30% chance of getting 10% turn meter, right? Which equates to like 3% turn meter for every freeze, right? You know, mathematically. And thing is, he can freeze 3 times. So that kind of RNG is Cycle of Magic on Nut is actually bad for this, but it is good for Hydra. So that is what we have on Nut. And as you can see, we have the same thing on Nut as well. So these working and not working, you know, the refreshes on Mikage and, you know, Farakin are the things that make the run work or not. So I would say what to go for, you know, in a nutshell is, I mean, I would suggest going for this team, right? It's a very good team, right? It synergizes fully. You could, of course, replace Farakin as an ally attacker with anyone else if you are suffering for hits. You know, Lonatari would bring 1 extra hit and potentially 2 if she has Phantom Touch. Longbeard the same. But everyone should also have some damage to make the run go faster. And most importantly, guys, the boss is very hard to keep under control, as you saw, right? So the boss fight, the shorter the boss fight lasts, the better it is for you. So intentional delaying Nuts A3 helps, and you should be going for, I would say, around 300 speed for the slowest target. Zinogre should be the fastest, or if you cannot make that happen, she should be the second fastest, so we can put up the increased speed buff ASAP. So that's about it, guys. Build your teams, and if you require help or have questions, leave a comment under the video or visit us on the stream, and I will try to help you out. Bye bye.